Welcome back to our channel where we provide updates and undisclosed narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales and her royal family. We provide you with the exciting news David Beckham's bold move to support Catherine shocked Meghan Markle. An article says that Sir David Beckham's supposed rejection of Meghan Markle is a big shift in the relationships that hold the royal family together. Harry, Meghan, and Queen Camilla were all shocked by this news. A very modern drama broke out at a time full of British history that lasted for hundreds of years. It made a clear line between old-fashioned devotion and new-fashioned ambition. As football superstar and worldwide icon David Beckham prepared to receive his long-awaited knighthood, a quiet but important refusal echoed from Buckingham Palace to Montecito, California. People reported that the refusal caused shockwaves all the way from Montecito to Buckingham Palace. People think that Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, is the target. "I don't know her," is the sentence that has sparked a lot of conjecture. It has four simple yet powerful phrases. In the famous halls of power where monarchy and fame meet, allegiances are the most important currency. This summer, the currency was looked via an article looked a try closely. Reports say that the famous athlete who was recently honored by King Charles III and was overjoyed to be given the title of Sir David Beckham turned down an offer from Meghan Markle to be in her next big Netflix lifestyle series. The answer was said to be cold and very polite. The refusal was not only because of a schedule difficulty, it was a decision with a lot of historical and symbolic meaning. People were whispering about betrayal, broken friendships, and a strong loyalty to the British monarchy, especially to Catherine, the Princess of Wales. The text has all of these parts. The uproar has brought up old conversations about the problems that have long plagued the relationship between the Beckhams and the Sussexes. The timing was quite good, and the results have brought the issue back up. This isn't simply another shocking headline from a tabloid. The book gives us a look at how high society works, showing how royal respect and celebrity jealousy may operate together, as well as how a great honor like a knighthood can be both a sign of tradition and a promise of things to come. Before getting into the many complicated parts of this high-stakes social chess match, you need to know all there is to know about the person at the center of it. David Beckham is not only a famous football player, he is famous all around the world. He is a cultural ambassador whose every action is watched closely, and his silence frequently says a lot. Beckham's career has been amazing. He was a great captain for England, built a huge business empire, and starred in a Netflix documentary that got a lot of praise. It is vitally important that he has skillfully handled this quick rise while keeping a very strong and lasting connection with the royal family. This partnership has survived scandals, changes in the media, and the constant changes in public opinion. This important connection set the stage for the terrible things that happened in 2025. According to an insider, an invitation was conveyed to Beckham's desk a few months before the public announcement of his knighthood. The timing of the occasion was perfect for Meghan's attempts to speed up her Archewell manufacturing projects. Beckham was asked to be a part of her forthcoming lifestyle series, which is meant to make her seem softer and more accessible. In the planned portion, he will talk about the importance of family values, fashion looked at, and fashion, maybe even make some jam on the spot. It seemed like a good idea for the two to work together. In fact, it was a request that would force Beckham to make a decision that could not be changed and would have effects on two continents. His answer, which was said to be a courteous but firm no, was made worse by the now famous rejection, which went beyond just personal decision. The proclamation of commitment has led to discussion in Hollywood and Windsor about jealousy, loyalty, and the complicated power dynamics that come with being a contemporary king. It was a quiet but powerful show of commitment. A knighthood which has been in the works for a long time is now being given. The formal announcement was made on June 13, 2025, and it was added to the list of awards given to King Charles on his birthday. After years of speculation and a lengthy wait for official recognition, David Beckham was finally going to acquire a knighthood. As a result, there was a lot of joy all around the country. Beckham's family, fans, and Beckham himself all remembered the big occasion, which marked the end of a long journey and the start of his legacy. At the age of 50, Beckham was made a knight, which showed how important it was to be in the public spotlight for decades. He was said to have been pushed to the side in part because of problems he had with his finances in the past, even though he received the Officer of the Order of the British Empire (OBE) in 2003. Still, he had been trying to get the title of Sir for a long time, but the award was a constant reminder of how hard he had worked. It honored not just his great football career, but also his sharp economic sense and long-lasting humanitarian work, such as his worldwide campaigns against malaria and his long-term involvement as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. In a calm and royal-sounding statement, the palace praised Beckham for his inspirational leadership on and off the pitch and his steadfast dedication to charitable endeavors in the United Kingdom and throughout the Commonwealth. Also, Beckham's answer was quite honest, which is something he usually does. In later interviews, his voice shook with emotion as he thanked his wife Victoria, their 4 children, and the fans who, in his words, have been with me every step of the way. This was Beckham at his most real, humble, grateful, and very aware of the historical story that was unfolding around him. The ceremony at Buckingham Palace to make someone a knight seemed like something out of a current history book. Beckham knelt before King Charles in a display of deep dedication and love while wearing a perfectly fitted morning suit that combined tradition with his own flair. But the day's significance went beyond what each person had done. The reward was seen as the establishment's last endorsement proof of his real loyalty, and it came nearly right after he quietly but firmly turned down Meghan's offer. According to reliable sources, the timing conveyed a strong message to Beckham. If you keep trying, you'll get what you want. Royal analysts were very interested in the symbolism of his rise to power, which they saw as a direct link to the crown, and in particular to the main members of the royal family who were in charge of running things. His first big public appearance as Sir David Beckham was at a place that was quite close to the Princess of Wales, so it wasn't a coincidence. This showed how much he loved her and how much he agreed with her vision for the monarchy. This paper is both the invitation and the notorious rejection. Archewell Productions had a lot of ideas for Meghan's next big Netflix project at the start of 2025. This was the start of the drama that followed. Because the media didn't care much about her previous documentary series, with Prince Harry the plan was changed. The goal right now is to create a lifestyle plan that is easier, more enticing, and more realistic. People thought the show was called As Ever Moments. The idea was that there would be friendly conversations around a fireplace, famous visitors having meals in a charming kitchen in Montecito, and talks about how to get through contemporary life, all presented in a polished and attractive way. Meghan's math shows that David Beckham was the guest who wore the crown gem. He was a world-famous figure with strong family values, a sense of style, and most significantly, real royal ties. He satisfied all the requirements. Getting him to agree to be in the program was seen as the most important thing to do to make it instantly respectable and give it the star power it needed to be a hit. Archewell's crew issued a well-written and convincing email to Beckham's close friends. The proposal supposedly began, "David, we would be honored for you to join Meghan for an episode on reconciling legacy with personal fulfillment." Meghan was the main focus of the show. The suggestion brought attention to his charitable work, which may have included becoming a UNICEF ambassador. The suggestion added, "Your story about Victoria and the kids would inspire many people." Both sides saw it as a win. Even if the words were beautiful, the years of stress below couldn't be disguised. This was not a blank slate. It was a reminder of broken trust and a complicated past that could not be fixed by any letters. Sources say that Meghan's staff is entirely devoted to trying to bring back the friendship between Beckham and Sussex to the point where the media will pay notice. They used a recent meal with Brooklyn Beckham, Harry, and Meghan as proof that the bond was not completely broken. On the other hand, tales that were going around indicated that Victoria Beckham was quite unhappy with the meeting, while David acted like a diplomat and didn't want to take the job. When the official proposal came in, it was hard to ignore the obvious issues. People who ate with him at the time remember how he seemed to be hesitant but didn't say anything throughout the meal. Why now? According to accounts, he spoke to a close friend. Taking all that has happened into account, what do you think the injuries caused by the rivalry, on the other hand, remained quite bad? People think that David spoke about how upset he was about what he saw as unjust media coverage of Meghan's group in messages that were supposedly sent in 2017. Even if her team said they weren't involved, the harm stayed. Trust slowly became worse over time. The group working with Beckham carefully planned a reaction over the course of many weeks. The official response was polite and deflected, saying, "Thank you for the kind offer. However, our schedules do not align. David's present commitments to projects in the UK must come first." The story, on the other hand, was far more interesting when it wasn't known. A source close to Beckham's entourage said that the decision was taken quickly and without much thought. Beckham was worried about what the knighthood would mean for his legacy, his service, and his strong ties to his nation and its king. The announcement of the knighthood was about to happen. It is said that the 4 words that are now considered legendary were said in a private talk about the subject. When asked about his connection with Meghan, Beckham allegedly shrugged, grinned cynically, and said, "I don't know her," in a way that reminded many of a renowned pop culture diva. No matter how it was spoken, whether as a joke or with purposeful indifference, the comment perfectly captured his position. It wasn't just about being petty. It was about defending his reputation, keeping his job, and making his point clear. Beckham's moment of closure came after years of being quietly portrayed as a minor part in the long story between the Sussexes and the royal family. Looking at the Beckham-Sussex rift shows how their connection fell apart over time. To understand how important the slight is, we need to go back to a period when interactions were not just friendly, but also polite. When Meghan Markle joined the royal family in 2017, the Beckhams were one of the first people to show her friendship. Meghan had invitations to private dinners, and it was said that Victoria gave her fashion tips and helped her meet new people to help her get used to living in London. It seemed like it was the start of a powerful partnership between 2 spouses that have a lot of power across the world. On the other hand, the honeymoon period didn't last long. The Sussexes' close friends and family quickly became paranoid about leaks to the press. Harry and David had a heated phone call in which Harry supposedly confronted David and accused someone in the Beckham team of leaking information to the press. This was the turning point. Reports say that David, who is known for being loyal and keeping secrets, was quite angry by the and fashion about charge. As a result, the connection became cold because of the broken trust in their friendship. After the royal wedding in 2018, the events that followed were made public. David and Victoria were well-known guests at the wedding at St. George's Chapel, but they weren't there for the exclusive evening event at Frogmore House, which meant they weren't invited. As a result, it was clear to everyone that they were no longer part of the Sussexes' close circle of friends. The gap between them grew a lot over time. Harry and Meghan's connection with the royal family became worse, which is why they moved to North America. The Beckhams, on the other hand, all about hand-havies, shown strong public support for the monarchy. It was especially strange that David didn't say anything after the repercussions from Harry's book Spare and the couple's Netflix series, which caused a lot of controversy. The Netflix clash in 2023 made the fight even more intense. The documentary made by the Beckhams called Beckham was a huge hit throughout the world, getting rave reviews and shattering watching records because it was so real and heartfelt. The presentation was so successful that the one with Harry and Meghan was entirely eclipsed. People said it was fake self-serving and didn't provide any real insight. After then, the Jam Wars of 2025 began. David made a funny movie in response, and at the same time, Meghan started her lifestyle business, American Riviera Orchard, which included a handmade strawberry jam that got a lot of attention. Victoria, who is known for her funny personality, narrated the ad, which included Beckham's sticky stuff, a plum preserve. Fans saw it as a smart and funny criticism of Meghan's brand, which some people thought was fake, even though it was carefully controlled. Meghan's professional but stiff approach was quite different from Beckham's easygoing, self-deprecating humor. Public opinion decided who won. Meghan's suggestion was not only badly timed, but it was also unwise because of the antagonism, public rivalry, and hurt pride that were already there. Accepting the offer would have quietly confirmed a story that Beckham has been trying to disassociate himself from for years. He chose to turn it down as a way to take back his own story. The connection with the Waleses is based on strong loyalty. Beckham's bond with the Sussexes became worse while his relationship with Prince William and Princess Catherine got better. This alliance wasn't only for convenience, it was based on years of respect and similar values. People first saw how close they were after William and Catherine were married in 2011. People who were there say that David and the groom had a heated discussion in which they shared stories about how hard it is to live in the public eye. David and Victoria, who was quite pregnant at the time, were two of the most important guests at the wedding. Reports say that David loved how William was able to keep his royal duties while still being a good family man. David and Victoria were trying to find their way down this route together. His love for Catherine has always been a part of their relationship. Sources say that he has always admired her calm grace and dignity. This respect grew a lot once she had health problems in early 2024. Reports say that Beckham quietly visited the princess when she was in the hospital, which shocked royal watchers since it seemed so real. His being there as a loyal friend at a hard moment was all that was needed. There were no cameras, no press releases, and no opportunity for contrived images. This one private act spoke more than a lot of public declarations, and the royal family took notice of how important it was. In this case, it's worth looking at how Beckham acted once he became a knight. His first appearance as Sir David was a deliberate and strong statement of allegiance. He went to a fancy charity event for the Royal Foundation for Early Childhood Development, which is a topic that Catherine is quite involved with. When Beckham arrived, he looked like the perfect example of a gallant knight with Victoria at his side. During his friendly conversations with guests, his new knighthood pin caught the attention of the crowd. That night, he gave a speech that was full of subtlety and included an obvious reference to the Princess of Wales when he spoke about how important it is for people to bear substantial responsibilities with grace amidst rigorous scrutiny. He also spoke on how important it is to serve others and be humble. People on the internet reacted right away. People called him the People's Knight, and his honesty stood out from that of other famous individuals. People on social media were praising how honest he was. Someone at the garden party later said, "David has been a rock." He spoke about how strong Catherine was and how she was the family's heart. This was a simple but powerful praise that focused on the unity and lasting ties that he clearly loved the most. Catherine was the heart of the family. Victoria's clothes choices at previous royal-adjacent occasions frequently echoed Catherine's particular style, quietly, but clearly showing that they were friends. Victoria did her job well, and every choice she made showed that she had put a lot of thought into it and was showing love on purpose. Beckham is said to have turned down other important invites to focus on these events, telling his pals, "Family and friends first." Catherine had to deal with a lot of scrutiny as she tried to go back into public life, but Beckham's constant presence gave her both encouragement and peace of mind that she had a strong support system. In this case, Sir David was not simply showing off a personal success. He was also putting his own award within a larger story about commitment, loyalty, and respect for the institution that had just honored him. A new look at celebrities and royalty, based on the new royal framework. David Beckham's move to openly support Princess Catherine and turn down Meghan's invitation is more than just a personal choice. It might change the way celebrities and royalty interact with one another, a big way. Celebrities have frequently tried to gain influence by becoming close to the monarchy, the monarchy no matter what their goals were. Beckham seems to be using a more deliberate and judicious approach in his pursuits. By doing this, he is not just taking a stand, he is also adopting a specific idea of monarchy that is based on duty, service, and substance, as shown in Catherine's grace and William's strong leadership. The Sussexes' choice to remake Hollywood and seek media attention is quite different from what they want to achieve. This choice puts history above temporary relevance for folks who care more about honesty than polished performance. It would be hard to miss the effects of the waves. Not only is the rejection an emotional blow to Meghan, but it is also a professional loss. According to many in the business, her idea for a lifestyle has had a hard time getting off the ground. This shows how hard it is to compete in a field that is already full of people without the star power of a name like Beckham. At the same time, Sir David's genius grows. His Emmy-winning documentary and the viral Beck Jam moment both revealed that people like things that are real more than those that are polished. His rise to knighthood has made him even more of a worldwide symbol and a person whose power grows at the crossroads of renown, tradition, and lasting legitimacy. This story is about Catherine. Figures like Beckham are naturally drawn to her because he regarded her as the future of the monarchy. People are drawn to her because she is strong and has a kind approach to renting and public duty. His constant and obvious support, which includes secret medical visits and sincere public accolades, has strengthened her position. This has led to the creation of a story of devotion that goes well beyond the world of tabloids. Beckham's actions have set a clear example for the future. It's clear that other famous people are keeping an eye on this. In a world where popularity is short-lived, being linked to the Prince and Princess of Wales gives you lasting cultural worth. It's clear that the bet, if it can properly be called that, is showing a profit. Beckham's name is growing quickly while Meghan's firm is trying to stay relevant despite big problems. This story is not about sticking to old ways of doing things. The monarchy is changing while yet holding on to its long-held beliefs. Sir David Beckham and Princess Catherine are both examples of this difficult balance. The statement, "I don't know her," was more than just rage. It was more than that. This statement also contains a pledge of loyalty to a different set of principles. It was a declaration of independence from the theater. The message said that certain relationships are more important than Hollywood glamour, and that some legacies need to be defended with calm confidence. Sir David Beckham's decision to set a limit may have started a new age of relationships between celebrities and royalty. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and goodbye for now.